This
meeting.
conference will now be recorded.
If not, I'll take it. I need to say a prayer this morning. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you again for bringing us together to do the business of the county. Thank you for letting all of us be able to sit around this table to make the best decision for the county. We ask you just to bless everybody that's in this room and to give us a great meeting for the county. We thank you for these blessings and many others. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We have a proposed agenda before you. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move we adopt the agenda as set.
I second.
Okay, it has been motioned and second. All in favor by the show of hands. All right. We have all the old minutes were emailed to each one of us. Mayor, what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we'll adopt old minute.
I second, Mr. Chair.
Okay. It has been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carried. We got to do a discussion on, did we have anything, Steve, in the discussion on old minutes? Okay, all right. It's in your hands.
Ma'am? Yeah. All right, item 2, we'll have the financial report for the month of June at the next meeting. Item number 3, we're still in the process of developing next fiscal year's budget for our fiscal year that starts October 1. We'll have a budget work session at the end of this meeting this morning. The River Road Drainage Project, I don't have anything else to report on that yet. We still haven't got a price from the contractor to do the final paving over the pavement cuts. Our engineer's working with them on that. And the contractor, they take the week of July 4th off, so they're not working this week. So hope to have something next week.
I haven't been on Liberty Church. Have they worked the shoulders on it?
They have not. That's all they have left to do is to smooth out the shoulders. And the bridge on Bowen Road at Sandy Mount Creek, I sat in an online meeting with DOT, and the short version is that's in the works, but it's probably, looked to me like I think their last estimate, they don't even anticipate taking bids on it till 2029, so it's several years down the road.
Steve, before we move on, I meant to ask a question. On Pleasant Valley Road, how far are the paving gonna go down?
My understanding is it's going all the way to the Roney Church.
It's going for the entire length of Pleasant Valley Road.
Okay.
When I was out there the other day, the engineer was there and Rodney came by and we just stopped to talk for a minute. And I said, how far is it going to go? I asked the same question. And he said they would not be starting on the road until after 4th of July. So they've actually gotten ahead of the game.
Right. I was just wondering because I went down the other day and it looked good.
How far is it down now?
Down to
Churchwell Store.
No, we're down. It might be down there now, but the other day it was down to the stop sign to make a left to go to Liberty or to keep straight. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Item number 6, to Dooly County Transit. Just refresh your memory, we contract with the Georgia Department of Transportation. They provide funding to help run the transit program. And we turn around and contract with a third party to actually operate the transit program for us. And DOT changed some of their ways they do their contract, so we had to take bids again for the third-party contractor to run it. And the short version is we advertise locally, we advertise statewide, we advertise nationally. And we only got one proposal, and that was from the third party that's been operating it the whole time. And DOT has reviewed our process of advertising and everything in the proposal submitted by the new contractor, and they've approved it. So the transit program will continue to operate just like it always has, and it doesn't cost the county anything. The third party contractor is able to operate it with the funding from the state. Doesn't require any local funding in the program. So
It's just a washout for it.
it's a washout. And the contract that's running our transit program runs several transit programs in the state, especially in the rural areas. They tend to specialize in the transit programs in the rural communities. Item number 7, the Planning Commission is going to conduct a public hearing 5:30 on Monday, July the 14th, to receive comments on 2 zoning requests. And after the public hearing, the Planning Commission will conduct a work session with the county commissioners to discuss potential changes to the zoning ordinance. So the commissioners, you're welcome to come at 5:30 to see the Planning Commission public hearing, but at least plan to be there by 6 o'clock to have our little joint work session with the Planning Commission. Flint Humane Society. All right, previously the board voted to discontinue the funding to the Flint Humane Society at the end of this fiscal year. So we need to officially notify our current agreement with Flint Humane Society. Yes. Dates back to 2012. And so we need to notify them we intend to terminate this contract with them effective September 30th. But the board has not voted to do that yet, so I would request a motion to
Terminate the contract with Flint Humane Society pursuant to the contract at the end of the term.
Call for the motion to terminate the contract at the end of the term.
I second. Is that it? Oh, no discussion yet.
It has been motion and second. Like, we're gonna have a little discussion on this before we vote on it. All right, so it's open.
So did that include the building? Did that include the lights and the water, or that just
Well, as long as we need to terminate this contract,
first? Okay.
then
Talk about
they
that
have
later.
discussion, do you want to enter into some other type of agreement with them starting October 1? But the first order of business will be terminating this come September 30th.
Is that good, Bert?
You need to piecemeal this out. There's about 3 or 4 issues on this. And so I would terminate the contract. Because this is saying it's a year-to-year contract, and you don't intend to have them do the things that were done under the contract going forward. There are some other issues that have been raised in a letter that came to you that I think are appropriate for discussion after you make the decision on this. For instance, if you wanted to enter a new contract, you could, but if you're going to terminate this one, you don't want them performing those functions anymore. You've already said you don't want to pay them for them.
Are there any other discussion, Tim?
No, that was it. What they just said.
All in favor by the show of hands?
All right, there are the next question, do y'all want to enter in some type of agreement with them going forward as of October 1? If so, for what?
I think we probably need to talk about it a little bit longer and table it probably to the next meeting. But I think we should enter some kind of agreement with them for those facilities. But I don't know about the license stuff, but we just need to talk about it. Can we table it
Yeah, we do.
and talk about it?
Let me tell you what I see the issues are so that y'all can be thinking about those.
Mm-hmm.
The first issue is it's county property.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's going to operate anything on that county property, there has to be an agreement of some sort, such as a lease. And then you have to answer as a board to your constituents as to whether or not you're going to require any monetary compensation for that lease. Okay, and how would you treat these as any other entity? And what function, if you're considering not requiring a monetary payment for the lease, then what is the consideration that is in exchange of that? What function are they providing to the citizens at large of Dewey County? That's one issue. The next issue is who's going to pay the light bill? Okay, that's the only thing you have out there that's of an expense currently, and I think there was some confusion, at least on my end, as to who paid that. I thought that I was not aware that the county, as I understand it, has been paying that light bill.
What the agreement says.
Okay. Yeah, but this predates me. So, so we currently are paying the light bill. I don't know what that is a month. Do we have an idea?
$200 to $300.
Okay, so you're talking $2,400 to $3,600 a year. The big issue I have, if you'll flip to the liability section, which is down here in indemnity, down toward the last. Okay, Mr. Neesmith was the county attorney at the time this was drafted. I don't know if he drafted it or if it was one that had previously existed, but this is the paragraph the lawyers focus in on. It says the Flint Humane Society, and it doesn't say Inc., but we'll assume that. But there has been some problem with it remaining an intact legal entity because it has lapsed. So as long as if you do something with it in the future, you need to make sure that that stays current. Because otherwise you have an agreement with an entity that you can't enforce things with. And so the Flint Humane Society does hereby agree that it will and does indemnify and hold the county harmless from any and all liability, including expenses of litigation, attorney's fees, court costs, and other claims, damages, suits, actions, blah, 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 blah. Okay, how? It's a non-profit corporation under the laws of the state of Georgia, which means it can't retain its profits. So it doesn't have any money to pay you for that other than raise donations to do it back. So what you typically have in this paragraph is, and they shall provide a certificate of insurance. Okay? So if you were to allow them to remain on the property in consideration of some rent, because you found that they're providing a valid public service, then they can't leave you exposed at no rent to this, in my professional opinion. Now, I don't know what the cost of that insurance would be. I think it's probably going to be prohibitive based on the activities that they have, which is an unmanned facility with potentially dangerous dogs. Notice I'm not saying dangerous dogs. I'm saying potentially dangerous dogs because some of the dogs that they take in are obviously ones that could fit within that state definition. So I think it would be very wise if you have conversations between and amongst yourselves about this, that you consider that indemnity language, because that's what's going to open you up for further liability. Because it's going to be a reach through if you're not careful. Because it's ultimately there's OCGA 50-1-3, I believe it is, or 3-1, says that an owner or occupier of land cannot delegate its duty to keep it safe, which means as a landlord, which is what you would be, you can't just delegate that duty to a third party. Now, you can, but you can also be sued. Premises liability law. What you have is you have sovereign immunity. Sovereign immunity only goes so far. And are you performing a necessary function of government by doing what you're doing? Or are you doing a discretionary function? And if you're doing a discretionary function, that's when you have to have some insurance to back it up. And this is discretionary at that point. They do good work in the past. And there's no doubt that the cause that they have is a very noble cause, a no-kill shelter. That's a good thing in most places. But we're at a point now where we need to protect the county. And that's a business decision at that point. Nothing against anybody. Just stating what I see as potential liability.
Any other discussion on this matter? We'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay, all right. Time for that. Yep. Go ahead.
At this time, we have Ms. Geraldine Butts. We are honoring her for her retirement. Ms. Butts and the Sheriff Department. Come up front.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, please.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
28, that's a typo.
Today, we are honored to celebrate Ms. Geraldine Butts, who is a jailer and security officer at Dewey Sheriff Department. And she officially retired Monday, June 30th. And she's completed 28 and a half years, well, really 3/4. October would have been 29 years. Yes, yeah. So just a few months short of 29 years. November, okay. But anyway, we would like to present this plaque to you, and it says, congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for 28 and a half years of service to the Dewey County Commissioners and the Dewey County Sheriff Department. Your dedication, commitment, loyalty, and excellent spirit has demonstrated and made a difference among your peers. Thank you for a job well done as a jailer and security officer. Your labor of love and commitment will be remembered. We present this plaque as a token of gratitude and appreciation for the years of service you rendered. Enjoy the next chapter called retirement. Happy retirement. Dewey County Board of Commissioners, November 10th, 1996 through June 30th, 2025. So again, congratulations, Ms. Butts. And this is your token of appreciation. So we'll now turn it over to Ms. Butts and her supervisors. And we're gonna take a picture, commissioners.
I'm not in charge of this. It's like my dog.
Yeah, we'll go next week. And her, I guess maybe y'all get more overtime and all, but we're gonna do something this next week as well. We thought we were having two, and, we talked one out of it.
Well, that's what happened.
And, I will say Miss Geraldine is, she started with my father years ago. It's different now. I don't think about it sometimes, but I appreciate her hanging in there 10 years. We're gonna miss her. She wore many hats. She was a lot more than just what her title is. Kind of a mentor for a lot of, we've seen them come and go, a lot of employees that came and wasn't for them, and some that stuck it out with us. I think that he's responsible for them still being here. We thank her very much, and we'll do something. We'll let y'all know next week.
Okay.
We'll do this again.
Well,
I
Sheriff,
appreciate your service for us too. You know, it's hard to find people to stay on the job
Mm.
28 and a half years now. I appreciate the encouragement that you give some of the young ones.
Sheriff, I would like to say that she's always been a very positive, influence up there. And she's survived 2 different jails. She's survived 2 different sheriffs, although they're the same family. And her service spans 4 decades. The 90s, I don't know if we ever came up with what they were in the 2000s, the 10s, and now the 20s. So, on behalf of as a citizen, thank you.
If we can get a
Turn your
picture.
plaque around, geez, so we can get you.
Y'all gonna probably stand up is better. Tim, you gotta tell them what to do. They can't figure nothing out.
I've never been very good at that.
Do you have crayon you can draw?
Oh,
I'm here for me now.
oh.
All right, I'm gonna take several because my camera's sort of funny. All right, 3, 2. Wait a minute, okay. Took one more. That should do it. All right, congratulations.
I'm gonna enjoy having weekends and holidays.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
All right, we'll need to have hopefully a brief executive session at the end of the meeting, but we'll skip over that for right now. Took care of it. All right. Well, I think that's it. That's all the regular items of business I have, Mr. Chairman, other than a brief executive session, and then we'll go into a budget work session.
Okay. I make a motion that we go into executive session. Second motion.
There's been motion and second that we, go into the executive session. All in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carries. Do the other part.
Yeah.
This conference will now be
I make-
recorded.
I make a motion that we accept the minute read in executive session. In executive session as read in executive session. Second motion.
Okay.
There has been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. That motion carries. Right.
Yeah.
We're not quite ready yet, Don.
We shut the door?
Yeah. Good. We're gonna need to go into budget work session now, so. Okay.